you now have like an overview of a plan for the next few years of your life, right?
Yes.
And you're going to basically, now the job is to like execute that plan, right?
Yeah.
Which is like the easy, I actually like to say that's the easy part. The hard part is figuring out what the best plan is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not easy in the sense that it takes state, like what I mean to say is though, this gets into the theme, not all minutes of work are created equal. If you didn't have the information you have now, you could work your ass off, but you would be working in ineffective ways, right?
Yeah.
But now that you have this information, like the job is just go out and collect more information and go out and collect opportunities to get towards that space, right?
Yeah.
So the point of reading this book in those chapters prior to your application, like right as you're applying, is, or you could even do it after you apply. Like it doesn't, you could do it this, the point is that now it's on a Post-it note, right? So it doesn't really matter when you do it.
Yeah.
But before you go into, so if you apply in December, they're going to get back to you in like March or April probably. If you get a positive vote of confidence, and I'm going to say, you're going to hear something funny from me. I would not go for MIT. I wouldn't go for UC Berkeley. I wouldn't go for UCLA. I would go for a lesser, unless those schools have scholars that you specifically want to work with and you have a working relationship with them. Right? So if you know a teacher at that school or a professor at that school that has open PhD slots that you have a working relationship with and they are actively targeting you, that's a very different scenario. But if the only thing that you're going on is school recognition name and you're like, oh, MIT is really prestigious, let me try there. That's a recipe for being chewed alive. Be a big fish in a small pond and target institutions that are going to give you a lot of support. When you do your applications, if you get back from them, they will probably, depending on where you go and how much money they have, they will probably either fly you out or have you drive out for a school visit, a site visit.
Yeah.
At that time, I will recommend, you can come back to this video at that point, interviewing your professors. When you do those interviews, the information in chapters 7 through 17 is going to be highly relevant to you. If you don't have that information and you go into those interviews, you're going to be at a leg down and you will not ask what I would say are critical questions of them. Don't trip. I plan, if you will still have me, to be working with you at that time, right? So I promise you that we, at that point, when I'm a little balder and a little grayer, we can talk about that scenario again. But in terms of your own internal calendar system, I would put a little Post-it note there for you before you go into your graduate school selection process. Having access to the information in chapters 7 through 17 is a super useful thing to do because you can use that to generate questions and look for red flags.
Yeah.